Oh, who's gonna take minutes for this?
I'm gonna be talking, so.
Was I supposed to take minutes last time?
I mean, we have a video, so. We can put it back in.
I'll take that.
Thank you.
Only do that.
I can't read my own writing.
I think we're good now.
All right,
I do this.
you're in charge.
All right,
Ready?
you ready? It's 6:35, calling our veterans,
5:35.
5:35. Wow. 5:35, veteran subcommittee meeting for the 5K. And so we'll take attendance. Bill Perez, Harry, Mario, Rudy, and Jonathan. Okay, how are we doing with the contract and move-in?
We sent him, we've been going back and forth since our meeting,
So not yet.
not yet. Our latest update is, as of May 30th. So,
Is it good? Are we like,
well, we sent something back. Hopefully that's gonna be the last one, because he had some notes on part of the language and, you know, I guess
anything that we should be
wording.
concerned with
I don't
as
think
far
so.
as?
I think it's just the technicalities and it didn't seem like an issue
Okay.
when we were talking with Lorenzo, so.
And this is, excuse me, the contract
For
to
the
the town or
the-
to
The town with the race administrator or
okay,
timekeeper, I guess we call, what do you call, it? Yeah, the timekeeper
so it's sitting right now
with him.
Right now, yeah, right now it's the
Yeah.
ball's in their court,
It's
but I think this should be that should be the last time it goes.
great. Yeah, it's been, I don't know, like 60 days of that. Yeah, cool. Because we're just kind of waiting for that to really do stuff. I feel like it's important that we, right?
Short.
Because if it didn't work out and we didn't have a contract, we'd have to get a new race person, and then we'd have to make sure that date worked with them, so we really can't do too much until we get that. Okay, so we'll move on. Almost. We almost have a contract. We are good with benefactors, our committee. Would you get to reach out to the gentleman in Texas?
I have to do that. That's for the last one. I have
Yeah,
to do that, yeah. I have to call him.
okay, you have his stuff, I think,
Yes.
yeah, okay,
And once I give him a call, I will, you know, I'm gonna. From what you told me, it sounds like a great fit.
yeah, no, but we really need your last blessing on that, it'd be great, yeah. Did anybody start working on the sponsorship levels after we talked about some?
I have to double check with IO. I might see if I have
I'll call the guy
the package with
Texas
me.
in between our meetings.
Okay, yeah, sure.
I just didn't check.
If I have access to the packet. Something we did want to talk about, and it's in that email that I printed out, is getting the price calendar down.
Mhm.
Just sort of getting that completely settled before we start with sales, so we don't have to deal with, you know. Dealing with price cuts and who gets free and, oh no, we don't have tickets sold and let's drop it and let's do this discount, that discount. I think we should do something different.
Well, I tell you what, I talked to Judy about it, and we talked about, we can go for free. I invited the Naval Junior Officer Reserve Training, and you know, JROTC at Braddock, who run for free. I'm gonna see if I can get to the Marine Corps, Navy, and probably Marine Corps and Army mainly. And see if the recruits, the police will want to run it. And maybe they want to set up something at the end, you know. I mean, it is a veterans Ranger run. Maybe they want to set up a little recruiting stuff, give out swag,
Mhm.
you know, stuff like that. And so I'll reach out. I know the airport recruiters are right here. In Miami Lakes. You gotta figure out where the recruiters are at.
There's one on Pines Boulevard,
Is there?
yeah, right by the
I mean, they
Costco.
used to have a nice joint recruiting, kind of, where everybody was.
So I think what Larry was gonna talk about. Correct me if I'm wrong, you were gonna go on to say about what we decided on who should get free.
Yeah.
So I think we established at some point. Who should get free already? Students,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, at least a group of students, a finite amount of student tickets, first come, first serve. I don't know how many we gotta look at can you look at the dashboard and see how many we actually validated on the coupon?
So I'll say students, junior ROTC and military recruit poolies, which are people who have applied to join and are waiting to ship to boot camp.
What about active military leagues?
Oh, no, we got money, we can pay.
I would pay anyway.
I have some points of information that may help guide us. So last year from tickets alone, among 631 registrants, we raised $7,934. So the rest came from donations, sponsorships, etc. That comes out to about $12.58 per person raised. I don't know if that informs us on what we want to start the ticket at, or if this means anything. We had 197 student discount ticket codes used.
Okay,
We had, one of our biggest concerns last year was getting people to sign up early. I mean, it was right into the last minute. We just didn't have any sponsorship. That's when we panicked. Went ahead and reached out to the schools to get people to run for free. Something we did just recently, I'm on the reunion committee of my school. And we did to inspire people, rather than say, okay, we'll give you another $50 off your ticket or whatever it was. We have a drawing, a special drawing, a special gift. If you qualify if you register early. And I should have brought the hours, and we got a picture of a big gift and whatever. We got, and we're listing how many people are already registered early. So if they only see 20, 30 people registered early, they go, wow, I got a good chance of getting that. They really don't know what it is. We haven't decided what it is either, and we're going to determine what we're going to put in that when it gets closer. We see how much money we raise with early registration.
So just
Surprise gift, early registration.
an early registration, chance of getting something
because we
Yeah, I
can
mean,
tell,
the-
we can collect their names from the database and put them into a.
into a pot.
So
Right.
is the question right now, who goes for free? I
So
think we have that, so.
197 student tickets.
I don't have a problem still offering 200 students free tickets
We
because
had 585 for the adult races and 46 for the little dash.
Well, for
So-
sure, I think it should be, I don't know about students, but it should be junior ROTC and recruit poolies.
So we just say recruiting units and then we decide.
Yes, any person who's an applicant in a recruit pool who's applying to serve in the military should be allowed to run for free.
Okay.
And then the junior ROTC folks, because that's basically a feeder program. For the military,
But for
those are high
students-
school students.
For students, a finite amount, we said.
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
what would that number be? we think?
if we did 197 last year, I wouldn't want to make it less because we want them back again. So we'll do 200, put
200.
in 200, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And they'll help too. They'll get them to help.
Yeah,
If we get police and firefighter recruits, I don't know, I mean, that's kind of tricky because a lot of them, are just going to fire school and stuff like that, they're not really part of a program yet, they still have to graduate and apply.
Do we
Where
want
the
to see?
recruit police have already signed the contract and are waiting to ship to boot camp.
Because I got police and of course.
No, police, not police, poolies, POOLEE,
Oh, okay,
poolies, so they're part of the recruit pool.
right.
They're not police, it's poolies.
So for students, limiting it to the 6 schools in Miami Lakes. That's high school.
I mean,
High school.
can we do
Because again,
I'd like to include Hialeah Gardens, high school and middle school. as
Yeah.
well.
so
They won't be a lot of them, but I mean, we're gonna have the marching band here, so they're gonna have consistent.
and Hialeah Gardens has consistently been very supportive of us. I mean, we do awards with the American Legion with them, Career Day with them.
I want to see who participates in the
Probably
parade.
only.
The schools that.
Yeah, that's.
They do.
They're included.
Hialeah
Right, I'm
Gardens,
saying
like,
I'm just trying
okay.
So-
Hialeah Garden, I
Because
just-
it's hard, I don't want to, we don't want to guess who's involved with us that isn't Miami Lakers. So I have the Gardens.
For sure, Hialeah Gardens middle and high school do.
I'll just look at whoever participates in the parade. Because if they've been involved in the parade, we.
Hialeah
In
Miami
our
Lakes.
community,
So
so.
Hialeah Miami Lakes in free.
Probably.
Yeah, sure,
Yeah.
I don't remember that.
So we'll 200, first come, first serve.
I think so.
Yeah.
First
yeah, that's
First
fair.
200 to register, we put,
Is HML the Trojans?
Mhm.
Okay, they've been in it since like the eighties, let's,
Yeah.
so. Recruit units, zero TC. 200 cap, schools in our community, we'll say.
Okay.
Anything else for free?
I think so. We
No,
don't
I
give
think
any
that's
other
good.
tickets for free. right? And then the free ones are gonna go to the sponsors as
I
part
know
of
the
this.
sponsor.
Yeah.
Right.
That's not kind of included. Okay.
So then the rest is regular
Let's see.
tickets. Do we have a price? I don't know if that, so a little less than 8,000 raised from 631 residents.
that
About
figure is not acceptable, we really have to improve that, that's.
So there was, we had some people saying, you know, here's what it is. $40 for a ticket last year. Some people said it was too much, especially for students. Some people said. It's not a lot if they know what they're giving the money towards, which is another factor that we didn't really get to. I get beat up last year. So it's kind of,
Okay, well,
We did.
what are our expenses for each individual runner? Like, how much is that?
A shirt, a
and the
medal.
shirt?
And the time guide.
Yeah. So, I mean, let's figure out what our expenses are before we set the price.
so. Everything that we paid for, which is medals, bands, the shirts, the awards. I don't know if we want to go down that super itemized, but it was about 31,000.
But we're taking out the. No band, no sound team, no sound stage, so take off, $5,200.
200, so about. 26,000, 26,000, excuse me, so
$26,000
between eight,
and how many people
or
are there?
between 631 registrations.
So those are payers, people who pay.
Or that,
No,
no,
that's total.
that's total.
$41 is cost. Looks like to me.
So what it is all the sponsorships that carry the
Mhm.
rest of it.
Yeah, so it's $41 without sponsors, basically, per person.
Mhm.
And I'll say what sponsors, how we're looking at sponsors.
50,000.
We're looking pretty good.
Yeah,
It's
no, I'm looking
amazing.
at $50,000 this year.
Right,
That's
all
a
right,
lot.
so,
Not
I mean,
here,
I think
not
we're gonna have,
yet.
I mean, I'm pretty confident we already have a charity. That, well, maybe. Looking at what I said I would work on. It's there. So. But I think, how do you think of $25?
I was, okay, so here's my thing. For the, just since we were talking about the calendar of pricing and getting it set from day one.
Yeah.
Pre-sale last year, we did it up to, I believe, October 1st.
Mhm.
We did, with some discount. So from the original $40, I believe it was a $25 pre-registration.
Okay,
If our final ticket prices would be 25, if we do a pre at 15. Pre-sale at 15, we're still above that, per raise per ticket number.
yeah,
That will be diluted by the free tickets that come in, so we're thinking about that. So a pre-registration or a pre-sale fee of 15. From 10/1 to the date of the raise 25, but we have to think about, the discounted season, so.
okay, so you're talking about pre-sale from what date to what date?
Oh, wait, let me just, real
Go
quick,
ahead.
start writing, when we talked on that call, and these notes are here from
Yes.
Kyle. We were talking about 25 is the early bird and 45 is the last minute.
Yeah, so that's just me being super safe and assuming that the 48 is too much, and, again, we didn't. There are factors like the turkey trot and, just around the corner is $50, but, it's a very popular event, they know the money's going to. If we can use this branding and use the networks and get a lot of people, I don't think $40, if I'm paying $40 and I know I see the organization that it's going to, I see the faces of veterans, and it's a lot easier for me to give up that money. So $25 to me is just being super safe. I don't really have a problem with,
I agree, I think 40 is, 40 or 45 should be the number,
okay.
I don't know.
I don't think that's what he was saying.
No, I'm saying, for me,
Just to not have to flash.
for me being super safe,
Uh-huh.
you know, assuming last year people didn't want to do it because it was so expensive.
If that. would-
If that's, again, because we don't really know, because, you know, we could have done things better, I guess, last year,
Well, I mean,
so.
Every brand you go to is $40, not less than $40. And I think if someone's got a run for $10, I'm thinking it must be a cheap run.
And if we establish out from the beginning, students are free.
What it's for, here it's a
What it's
contribution,
for,
exactly.
students are free, we're not deciding that, you know, in October.
Which helps the families that
Help
the
the
mom and dad,
families.
all the kids are free.
It leaves a better taste in the mouth
Yeah.
leading up to it, so
I think 25 and 45 is good.
You wanna do 25 and 40? I'm okay.
There
with
you
that.
go, 45 and
Let's do
40.
this. Let's,
So we don't raise the price from last year. Or
Yeah.
do anything that's not affected by inflation.
what,
We're gonna absorb that inflation.
25 pre-sale,
Yeah,
40,
40,
40,
yeah, fine.
40 is the final.
I have a question. What can we do this year different than we did last year? Because last year, even with the price incentive, we didn't have any play at the very end. We had nothing.
We're gonna have
Well-
social campaigns early and robust. We're gonna have billboards from Clear Channel.
we have the database from
We
last
have
year.
now the database to hit everybody up
Yeah.
and send them a reminder and everything that's
And we're gonna
happening.
have a charity.
And we're gonna have a charity, I was gonna say, for
Yeah.
network, for charity,
Yeah, it's already incorporated
And we're doing it again, second one.
and it's just gonna work on the,
I'm more
Tax
confident
deductible.
going into it, knowing what we know now. You know, it's sort of just doing it. So 25 early bird, are you guys okay with that?
yeah,
Is that the recommendation? Because these are all recommendations.
Yeah, we have to go to the vote, yeah.
yes.
I think 25.
Okay,
is
so
fair.
let's put it on
Well,
the table.
let me,
We vote in the committee or here in the subcommittee?
Committee.
you can vote in here, but it's just gonna be a recommendation. to bring it.
Vote doesn't count.
All right, well, let's bring it to this.
So $25 early bird, 40 regular, and then what could be, because we have a week. You know, if Veterans Day is on a Sunday. Saturday, excuse me, we can do. The 5th, which is the Sunday to the 11th, a Veterans Day week sale. Which is what we did last year. And we have, if we knock off. Maybe not make it so juicy back to 25, but $30, $35.
I think 30 is nice.
30 sounds.
Yes,
$10
okay,
off?
yep.
Yeah. Veterans Day sale.
Like, I'm just trying to think of the promos. So
I like it.
the week leading up to
I
that,
think that's, I personally don't, because if you already paid $40, all of a sudden you're popping up and advertising for 30.
well, I,
Watch the- happens.
Yeah, but then, I mean, I just don't think that's the right thing to do, no.
So-
Yeah, it's not fair.
so
to
do
people
you,
pay 40.
so I hear what you're saying, do you? And I know what you're saying too, because, you know, we all buy
We,
in,
we can,
we
come up
buy in
with-
at the price we buy in at, and that is what it is.
we could announce a drawing or something at the end, or we can have other incentive for people to buy tickets.
So do you don't think any sales,
No, I think
At all?
it should be a
It's early
gradual.
bird, that's it.
Starting from the early
So do you
bird.
wanna do tiers, like do early bird, then mid early bird, and then final?
That would be, we could do that.
So
like like a ramp up in price?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
and we can advertise that, so that's a lot easier for people to digest.
Right
Yeah.
up front,
So people have their own, you know, rushing. their
That's right, the
dialogue.
only incentive to buy early.
so 25, and then we'll have a 30 for early bird number 2.
Yeah,
You have to, you know, in the automobile business, you use the term create a sense of urgency.
Right.
And that's basically what we do.
it sounds good. All
I'm
right.
gonna do it,
What's the window for early bird, so we can recommend it to the
Yeah.
committee and just get the vote done and do it?
so last year we started promotion, right, before the culinary advisory board, so that would have been, I believe, the second week.
Of what?
No, I believe the first week of September. And because I remember that's the first time the flyers went out, you know, here's the early discount, let's do our code. Sign up.
So $25 will be pre-sale.
So the
Well, I
pre-sale
think
will
we
go all
get
the
it- we
way
can get it
through.
earlier. We're gonna launch the second the contract signs, the second our pricing is established, so. As early as we can, so maybe end of this month, hopefully, or, you know, even sooner.
Yeah,
To October 1, however much time we have there, that's the early window.
To September 1. For that
On the
culinary
first one?
race, that's when you said you, No,
So that's when we first started launching last.
Last,
that-
but
that's
you want to
why-
launch
I'm just
it,
giving you
you
some
want to
reference.
launch it earlier this year.
no, yeah, as soon as we
So-
can, correct.
As soon as
Last year, the early bird window also ended October 1. So
Oh.
we just started launching it in the middle of September because of the.
All right, that's right. So let's put some
June,
dates on the board here that,
June 8, July 1, however long, October
Yeah.
1 is the last day for the.
so we think the contract will be signed when?
I don't know, we sent out a couple of reminders to them, so.
As soon as, well, that's not a great answer.
I know it's, yeah.
But because that's basically, without that, we really can't launch.
You can do anything. I can even
So
call-
we really, we
call
need that
sponsors.
contract signed and we basically, this whole plan is event driven. The first event we have is the contract signing.
Right.
And without that, no other events can follow through. That's so. But so we need to have that really pushed.
But we can establish early bird number 2, early bird 1 expired.
Yeah, so let's
So
do, let's flag some dates that we hope to hit.
Well, we
So
can
the
call
first
them
early bird, so
early
let's
bird.
say,
Whatever, yeah.
$25 for the early bird and.
so let's say the first early bird happens, what are we,
Whenever we
say
start until,
Yeah.
it starts, 1st of July, right? The end of the beginning of this next month. And
$25 is ASAP through October.
July, August,
Through
September, October,
September 31st, or September 30th.
Yeah. it's
That's the end.
Yeah, you're right.
right, September 30th.
And
And
then
early bird number 2 is
10/1
It's
1 October.
through.
Well, maybe we can work backwards.
Because well, December 9th is breaks, right?
December 9th is a race.
So I will say to 1 November.
So give them a month, okay.
Yeah, and
I like
then
it.
final price is, or actually maybe the end of October, whatever that is, 30 October.
10/31,
Yeah, 10.
Halloween.
Yeah.
And then 1 November till race day,
$40.
$40.
Love it.
So we got 1 July to September 30th, 1 October to 31 October, 1 November to race day.
And what's the price from 1 October to November?
1 October
30.
to,
But what's,
it's 30
what's,
bucks.
what's the increase in prices?
So it's 25, 30,
25,
40.
30,
Okay,
40.
just straight to 40?
Yeah.
Okay. I was thinking there was gonna be another step.
No.
Keep it
That's enough.
simple, that's enough.
And it's not that much time now. If you look at this time, it's not that big.
Okay, what else we got?
So we're just gonna launch on September 30th.
No.
No,
We're not,
well, it's gonna launch as soon,
Now.
we're gonna launch it hopefully.
as soon as we get the contract. So this is event driven. It's event driven, not date driven, not time driven.
Deadline for the first one is then
September
30th.
30th.
September 30th, so the second one.
10/1 to 10/31,
Gotcha.
and then 11/1 to 12/9.
And that could help with sponsors too, because we could let the sponsors know that we're gonna be emailing, whatever, advertising the event. And their sponsorship would include them on the
Blasts
advertising.
in these, yeah.
On the blast,
Yeah, what I
emails
was
and
just gonna
everything
say.
else. So we can bring in early commitments for advertising.
I think what this does is it gives very clear windows of, when email blasts could go out,
Right,
final days of.
but our advertising, when I'm saying the
And then-
advertising can be bled in with the.
Yeah.
on the-
Jonathan, would you
And then
please?
give them more incentive to advertise with us and give them advertising money early.
Very easy to.
Can you make a
Once.
calendar with these dates that you can start getting ready, because you're the advertising guy, and you know when it's like good,
Yeah,
time dates.
I'll work this into our,
Okay,
Okay.
so we hit 3 of the issues that I wanted to discuss, the pricing.
I think those are the ones.
We hit the issues on the pricing calendar. It's event driven, so we gotta wait till that contract. We hit the issue on the standard price range. Okay,
Bill's
What else?
gonna square up the benefactor.
I'm gonna square out the benefactor, and that's working along pretty well. I think I will be for done before the end of June.
Jonathan's gonna look for the sponsorship package.
Yes, and so the awards thing, top 3 males, top 3, I just hate the fact that it's gonna be an ageist kind of thing.
No, this is-
Young people are gonna win.
Oh,
Well, what about, we gotta, if you differentiate, if you wanna have.
Well, I mean, you have the distinct medals, and quite frankly, I don't want
The
to.
transvestite, can have it in the women's division, so you know that.
Oh, my God, let's not go there.
Quite frankly, I don't want a trophy. I'll be honest, that trophy, I put it in the trunk, I put it in the trunk of something I got in Japan.
You can't.
I'm trying to discourage old people from running these, that's probably doing.
All right, so I've taken notes on
Larry's announcing that he is running as a female division.
Okay, stop. Oh my God.
We are on camera, Larry. Try to be appropriate.
I didn't say that. You did.
So if you guys will. Hear me out on some assignments that I need to give you guys.
All right.
For that.
Yes,
So I'm thinking that. Bill, you could be the liaison with town staff to manage, to work with them on the things that they manage. The communications person, that's litter control, police, marketing.
this is knowing my historical failure with the PA system.
No, it's communication, like emails and phone calls.
Okay, I
Not
got
to
you.
the, not to the speaker. I don't care about speaker. That's gonna be Ruben, his speaker works. Look, working
So
with.
basically, you know, I'm dealing with as far as logistics with setup. Is that what you're talking about?
Set up with litter control, police, with marketing, with status checks, with scheduling meetings.
So I'm just basically interfacing with Jonathan saying, give me update, what's going on? Okay,
Even though with Jonathan and I do really well together, I think that's a great thing. I need to. Figure something out.
that's easy. I email him weekly, if not daily.
But I do want to set, well, as we get closer, and I don't know if we can do that today, or we'll do it in the next meeting. So let's set a goal on for next meeting to set huddle meetings. So next subcommittee. Contract will be done, it has to be, contract done, and then set up regular huddle Zooms. So we can keep in touch with each other on where we're at with
Okay,
things.
so that's like a Zoom meeting? Okay.
Set up Zoom huddles, this little huddles we can,
I will say Zoom meetings are, I think those are still bound by sunshine, so.
but just as a subcommittee, just to see status and stuff.
Can we just email
we'll have to,
status?
like, We'll have to publicly notice.
Talking about the sunshine, if we're not talking about anything that's going to be voted on, well, then the sunshine law doesn't apply.
We're just asking, are you, is this done, is this done?
Yeah, it's actually
Who's
true.
next, what's this?
That's actually right.
It's true,
I thought, listen,
I mean, if we're not voting, it doesn't affect appropriations.
no voting, no, this is gonna be just making sure everybody's doing their
update.
jobs.
These are things that
Thank
just,
you.
these are just things that following up tasks that already been
They're done,
discussed.
yeah, they're done,
I have a little. From
oh god.
past events and stuff, I just want to be super sure. I could run it by.
Yeah,
by
but you
people that
know,
better, so.
let's not be unreasonable.
Let's
We're
not.
not voting on anything.
It's just for status updates.
We're not allocating funds. We're not voting on anything. It's,
We're not making any decisions, we're
no.
just, where we at with this, where we at, did you do that? Yes, 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 can you do this? Yes, okay, thank you, bye. That's gonna be our content,
On Zoom.
yes. But if we need to come here and do our notices and stuff, then so be it, we'll do it. And set up, but just
So,
with the town,
just to make sure I don't miss anything, litter control, police. What else are you looking for?
just follow up with marketing, like just anything that we need to follow up.
Okay.
With staff.
So what you need as far as tasks, I mean, we broke it down in what?
I mean, I have working with local schools, I was thinking that might be something good for you, but is it or not, do you like that, to go to the schools?
I think Bill would be perfect for that because he already, or Gary, you're already established.
Committee.
Well, Bill's already establishing relationships with schools for another purpose. This could be like another entry.
I mean,
I'm happy to do it on this.
Okay,
no, it depends on when you want me to do the subcommittee chair. What would you prefer?
I just don't want to inundate anybody, and I don't want to be inundated.
Okay.
So just trying to spread out some of the work.
I mean, no, I'd rather just, if you want me to be on top of.
Hey, oh my God, I was like, didn't even recognize you.
Yeah, quicker as much. Yeah, yeah. Nice to see you.
Hi.
So you want me to be, do the follow-up, and logistical follow-up, or you want me to go to?
Or both,
Or both?
or not,
Okay,
what do you, I mean,
I could do this, I can probably ask Gary to assist me, because he has all the points of contact, and he truly knows all the things.
I don't have a problem with that.
Let me try to do that. I will need, I mean, I'm not gonna, before I do that, obviously, I will need information provided, you know.
Yes, which we'll need
Yeah,
all the
pricing,
flyers.
free flyers.
Well, we started working last year.
Well, I-
That information for people in school, principal or.
I get that from Gary.
Jacob and I were talking about that. And since we already have like the materials and the brand identity of the race has already kind of been established,
Leave it.
especially the timelines, it's gonna be a lot easier to get back into that.
So is
and
it-
use the same,
So I'll just update, I'll have my,
at least if we can have the logo, like. You know, the artwork for the logo itself, because I know we had to sort of work with. Like a logo on the background, so that we couldn't just throw the logo on a couple things.
The one we had last year.
No, but I'm saying, just getting the assets back to us, you know, and. We'll use that and it'll be a lot easier for this year.
I'll get it from my agency and have them update the year and everything. I think it has a date and stuff, so we'll just get it. Okay, so everything stays the same. Do we need to vote on, is the logo staying the same, or we're just gonna leave it like that? Doesn't think
I
about
mean,
it.
I like putting in a lot of things with both, but I don't know.
The logo?
The whole logo and the whole artwork that we already established last year, you just run it published this year. Just the little reindeers and the,
I liked it.
Oh, it was great. I don't think you guys.
okay,
I
so
like the book.
Judy will
Yeah.
get with our,
What about antlers this year? I mean, I don't have a problem. I got good sources. If you want me to move forward. I get antlers for less than $1 set.
so that's $700. I don't have a problem. You wanna put that to vote and see if we wanna vote on the antlers and put a budget of $700?
Yeah, and why don't I do this at the next meeting? When's our next meeting?
I don't know.
Okay, I'll have some.
Not that one.
Well, you have to wait for the packet.
I'll get some picture samples of the antlers.
Well, I mean, it was not really for,
Pardon?
because we're gonna have a ranger run and
It's gonna be anyway.
worst case scenario, if we have another service or like, still gonna be a ranger.
That creates drag. Oh, drag, high speed.
Well, the wind behind it actually helps you.
Not sure, it's like a sail.
Oh, but are we gonna bring the antler purchase to the committee to vote?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
I'll bring some pictures of different antlers and pricing.
Yeah, once you get the pricing and the pictures
Do
first,
that as soon as you.
Before we do, yeah.
Yeah, and 60 days out, when you're sourcing from China or Taiwan.
let's hold, let's wait for him to bring us the pricings and pictures before we bring the vote to the committee.
No, yeah, that's,
Yeah,
That's fair,
yeah, that way we
Alright.
know what we're talking about.
with samples. So when's our next, what's our July meeting?
either the 6th or. I believe July 6th is the first Thursday.
I won't be in town otherwise.
Well, you're gonna have to, because you have to present your sample.
Well, you can tell us in the huddle meeting, I guess,
July 6th is our next scheduled meeting.
one of the little huddles.
I got grandkids coming in, we'll go to Disney World for 5 days. I'm gonna be working.
Go that one.
My gosh,
I didn't want to Disney World.
You get it.
no kidding. I mean, might as well we just go to Europe,
Take them somewhere else.
go to Europe, it'll be cheaper.
Pick up the Jollywood.
So July 6th is our next meeting.
Okay,
Do we want to push it for the 13th for Larry or what?
That's fine. If no, there's no objection.
I don't have any.
You available July 13th, Larry?
Absolutely.
Besides being in the courthouse?
I'll make myself available.
Separate,
Okay,
second.
put it on my calendar.
Yes.
July 13th.
Oh, that's gonna be a subcommittee vote. That's gonna be.
Yeah, it's gonna be
Well,
another.
You gonna be around, Mario?
I'll actually remind me July 10th for the meeting. It'll be fine.
That's nice. Okay, so we're good with the logo. So we're good with the award ceremony being the top 3 finishers, male and female, with a distinct medal for each age class. Any issues on that?
Oh, I wanted to get done with my, trying to help out with some of these tasks, my delegation.
Yes.
Bag stuffing. Mario, would you like to help the bag stuff? Helper, like activating more volunteers to come to my dealership to help get bag stuff,
Yeah,
bag
sure.
stuffing.
How many people do you need for that?
Well, I paid a bunch of kids to do it. We had probably about 10 people. working
What if
on
we
them.
bring in some volunteers from the Mary Goldman, Barbara Goldman High School, and they can get some community hours for it?
That's fine with me.
Who's gonna do that?
Gary can
So
charge
you're
you.
gonna ask Gary to do that, so you're out.
Keep on asking Gary, keep on volunteering. Gary.
When he's getting on the work.
It wouldn't be, Gary, it's Anna Soda is the POC, and so I can give you her
Yeah.
All right.
contact. info.
Can you contact them, Mike? Is that right?
Yeah, I could, but I wanted to spread the wealth just to make sure.
I can also get some young Marines
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, I don't mind doing that.
Okay, Mike will contact, Anna Soto and ask for 10 volunteers.
And then what was it gonna be 2 days before the,
Judy, when do you need the people? What's the bag? Please focus.
I'm ready. We stuffed the bags. It was late because we had to wait till all the sponsors sent their swag and I had to like come get it from here, which we've already tried swags to be delivered to headquarters so that we don't have to worry about all that logistical stuff.
Or it would be a couple of evenings or days of stuff. in
So
time,
how
or
many
one
people you
day?
get? We can whip it out in one day.
There's a subcommittee meeting.
Oh.
You're not late.
No.
You can come in. Pedro, you can come in, sit down.
Judy, when you finish, we want to talk to you.
Okay, great, thank you.
Thank you.
So. I would say we could probably get it all done in 4 or 5 hours.
Oh, okay.
Like. Just 10 or 15 people.
He was the same woman who got the 120 plus kids for the flag planting on 9/11. And we were done in, an hour and a half. Instead of.
Yeah, we had White Out, we
I
had
think a
Clean
lot of
Out.
people will just logistically, like, I'll spread it out so
Yeah,
that people
okay.
can actually go walk in circles, like, that's how we do like stuffing for.
Okay, so,
Well, that'd be good.
Mike, are you gonna take that on?
Yeah, I can do that.
Thank you, I'll give you the date, which will probably, let's just say it's gonna be in November, for
Okay.
sure,
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Well, in advance of the run.
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, we'll know more or less how many runners we're gonna have, so we don't wanna make like 90 million too many bags,
Okay,
yeah,
that sounds good.
so I would say November, early November.
Awesome.
Mhm.
What other tasks you need to delegate out?
Assembling volunteers for setup and tear down. How about you? You haven't taken anything on yet, have you?
I'm here for whatever.
Okay, you wanna do that?
Yeah, and then delegate other people to do it.
I'd rather be set up than carried.
You want to be set up and tear down?
I'd rather be set up than carried.
It's actually, it's one job.
One guy.
Or you'd rather be set up than torn down.
All right, whatever.
Okay, there's gonna be the setup and tear down person to assemble volunteers and make sure there's enough people there and they're doing what they need to be doing and he's gonna have a bullhorn.
I need
You can have my
Jonathan,
bullhorn.
I need Jonathan's assistance in this. Him and I are like, we have experience.
Yeah.
It's like, kind of like Batman and Robin.
The day of the event, I'm going on vacation.
What?
Not, I will be at the event.
Oh,
Second we wrap. I don't wanna,
you're not in charge of tear down. That's what you're trying to say. You're like out.
no, I just don't wanna, I don't wanna go on vacation. I'll talk to you. We'll take care of that. Okay.
Is Abigail gonna come?
Yeah.
Is she in town? All right, cool.
So,
All right. So Larry's going to.
I did.
How did we set up last?
Yeah.
So my people that were bringing waters were helping and
You were looking in jail.
everybody was screaming and yelling. Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like Memorial Day.
Is there gonna be, to put things away, Memorial Day was quite, it
well,
was a task. I mean, is this something, maybe we can get some volunteers to help us? There's gonna be a lot of things to carry, take the tents down. all that
Yes.
stuff.
for,
Yes,
So why, can we hook up volunteers for that to help us?
that's what
That's what
you're
you're
doing.
supposed to do,
You're
Larry.
going
That's
to
what your
assemble
job.
volunteers for setup and tear down.
That's what you just volunteered.
Right, we need to coordinate that with Robert Golden students or whatever.
Yeah, there you go.
bonuses or.
Whoever.
I will
I don't know.
do 19 things.
Volunteers.
Yeah.
And make sure they
I
get,
think you
community
don't do
service.
more.
Young Marine,
I don't want it, it's too much, it's too much.
I don't wanna volunteer. Or say. Yeah.
So I will do the fundraising and leave reporting. I will get the petting zoo. I will assemble the meet and greet with the mascots. I will do the marching
The
band.
petting zoo?
I will get billboards from Clear Channel. We will host a package pickup at my dealership. I'll staff it and I'll do it. There,
We had a
that's
petting
what I'm
zoo, we had a
doing.
petting zoo last
We
time?
did.
You see?
Hialeah Gardens High School brought their animals and put them in a corral and took the pet 'em.
Goats and all kinds of stuff.
And a cow.
Chickens.
It was over by the bathroom. I want to move it closer next time so people see them.
Yeah, I didn't see them.
We'll have a food section over there and then animals in the big thick of it.
Food section.
with the food, because we don't have to do
You look so much younger without the beard.
You look so different, I
You look like 10 years younger. Yeah. More than that, 20 years younger.
Yeah. And like some movie star, I
Yeah.
don't know who, I'm trying to figure it out, okay. So,
Michael Douglas. Yeah, no, not Mike.
no, he doesn't have beady eyes. I think that,
I'm glad we got the concept, or not the.
Right. Anything else?
I think, we can adjourn this.
Okay, so we need to, just to cover what we need to vote at for is. We need to vote the actual meeting, who is going to be going for the meeting for free. And what our pricing, our regimen is,
Yeah, the price.
and the schedule for that pricing.
Yep.
Correct? All right?
Are we gonna work on the sponsorship packages, or that's something council?
He's gonna.
Yeah, that's.
He's
we're gonna work
looking,
on it.
that's on part of this list.
Okay, because we, just to go over again, we thought it was a good idea, at least I thought it was a good idea. That if we have early sponsorships, we can include in our mail out, our email blast and our.
The sooner you,
billboards,
the more stuff you're
Right,
in.
they would be included in that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah. But we, for just a little context for any of our events, we have a sign up date or, confirm your sponsorship by X date. So they can be included in the email blast, or they can confirm that they'll be in, at least one post
Yeah,
or
so
two posts.
if you're going to give.
So yeah, that,
You're gonna make
again,
a calendar, so that's gonna be really important. If you make a
Right.
calendar, we can start
so
establishing.
we'll know exactly when, okay, you want to be included in this email. This date,
Pony up.
you'll have a chance for this email, we'll need it by this date, so it's,
Yeah.
yeah, it'll build up to itself.
And one last thing, if I could bring it up, I mean, last year, the job that Judy did, I mean, it was phenomenal raising money. And I went out there and knocked on some doors, like, hey, it wasn't the easiest thing in the world. And I'd like to somehow work with you and coordinate an effort to train myself and whoever else to,
Wanna come with me and do it?
I'd like to do a few times and make a few calls to
Yep.
see what you're doing. And then go ahead and,
For your wings.
Divide and conquer?
yeah.
All right, yeah, let's do it. I'm gonna call the past ones. I gave them thank you packages after it was over with written thank you notes.
Yeah.
So
And Pater, and that Pater is the best I know at.
Oh, my goodness, that guy's a pro.
pro sponsor
Yeah.
grabber, so maybe Pedro can. Thank you.
Is there a motion to adjourn?
I motion to adjourn the meeting.
I second the motion. All those in favor, say aye.
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 After, after a year from now.
18:31.
I know.
Right, Mr. Secretary, do the roll call, please, sir.
Yes, momentarily. Okay, being Perez,
Present.
Larry Gorman.
Here.
Gary Cardenas.
Here.
Michael Coote. Here. Nicole Martini.
Here. Mhm.
Judy Parker Sarah.
Here.
Mario Chavez. Present. Pedro Fialo.
Here.
And Edward Paez. Not here.
That's a sure.
He'll probably be here.
Yeah. Okay, please rise for the pledge of allegiance and a moment of silence. Please remove your covers. Pledge allegiance to
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Moment of silence. Okay, please take your seats.
I'm thinking about the guys struggling in the fields of Normandy 79 years ago today. And they landed, what, Tuesday? On the 6th.
On the sixth.
Yeah, yeah, and they're still slogging through the canals and at this time. 79 years, 79 years ago.
We open up public comments and welcome Chris, what was your last name? Locke? Chris Locke, he's thinking about joining the Veterans Committee. Are you a veteran?
I'm a Army reservist.
Army reservist?
Yeah, I'm a therapist.
Oh, fantastic.
So we can use that.
So, yeah, we, well, welcome. It's good to have you here.
You
Thank you for your service.
Chris? Yes.
Locke,
Yeah. well,
could you spell that?
Locke.
It'll be in a minute.
Right. Order of business deferral, additions and deletions. I have one addition. And I got a contact from the Elderly Affairs Committee. And I don't know if anybody knows this, young lady, Rosa Nell Hammer. She's 103 years old.
Right.
And she was one of the Rosita Riveters.
Oh, my gosh, my aunt wants to. My great aunt.
So they want to do something. And so we're gonna add it to the agenda because I have an idea and I want to see what you think. So let's do it to add it to new business line, what is it? The 8, Charlie. Whatever we do, I'll tell you, time is of the essence, because she's 103. So it's not something we can put off.
And he's still active. It's a
Oh,
real.
I don't know, we could tell her,
She's a
we're
realtor?
gonna do it in 3 years and she has to say.
Oh, my God.
He told me shopping center in
Tell her that.
1969.
That's when I was born.
That's why we need mental
Yeah,
health.
Wow.
He says.
That's cool.
Oh, could you please pass this down to the.
Hey, Ed,
Thank you.
Hey, how are you?
we're up 100% today. This is our first 100% meeting in a year. That's great.
Thank you. Okay, so. Let's look at the May 18th minutes, please. Thank you for Mr. Secretary for this.
Those were hard minutes to put together, so
Well,
we
yeah.
bounced all over the place.
And you were sick during the time too, so I really appreciate it. I'm glad you're better, by the way. Can I have a motion on the floor to approve the minutes?
Motion to approve the minutes.
Anyone second it? please?
Second.
Second by Judy, initial by Pedro. Second by Judy. All those in favor?
Aye.
It's passed. Our approval. old business reindeer run weekly free update. Subcommittee meeting information. I know there's 2 issues to vote on for the main committee. Is that correct, Ethan?
That is correct. Mr. Perez. Shall we go right to a vote? Shall we get a? bring the-
When we do a
bring the
subcommittee,
committee up to date?
let's bring the committee up to date and then we'll vote on the 2 issues.
Okay. Good evening, committee.
Good evening, Ms. Cortez.
Our
We're normally not this formal.
Our contract status with the vendor is almost, there's been a bunch of back and forth drafts. I haven't seen them, but it's currently back with the vendor. So as soon as that's back, signed, we can then start working on all of our materials, our sponsorship packages, all the things, but we can't really start anything until that contract is signed, right? Because if something doesn't work out and we need to find a new vendor, then we have to make sure the date works for that vendor and things could change. So we can't jump the gun until we have that contract. But anyways, we have a lot of things we're going to do when it gets signed. We are finishing up with the benefactor, the Texas group. Bill was going to do a final vetting on them to make sure everything was good. The sponsored packages are with Jonathan. I haven't gotten them back yet. They're still working on them at the town. We are going to have a vote on some free tickets for certain groups. We'll get back to that. Larry is going to find answers, samples and pricing so that we can vote on that in the next meeting. As a line item that makes sense and an added benefit for the run.
Thank you. Good evening, Officer Mazo.
We are going to use the same logo from last year. We're just gonna refresh it and put the new date. We are going to have an advertising blast schedule that Jonathan's gonna prepare with his advertising expertise to also help bring a call to action to our sponsors to jump on as soon as possible, because the sooner they jump on, the more blasts they'll be a part of. And we have delegated out some of the tasks. I don't know if I need to get into this granular stuff, but I will. Bill's gonna be working with the town to help manage communications. Bill's also gonna ask Gary or Mike is gonna call Innesoto to help us get schools involved. Mike is also going to have, get some help with the bag stuffing at our dealership. Anybody that wants to come help and volunteer on in the bag stuffing would be really happy to receive you. It'll be in November. We'll establish that date once we kind of really have all the swag, on the ground, so we can actually pack the bags. Larry is going to be coordinating the effort of assembling volunteers for setup and tear down of the day. I'm sure Larry will need help with boots on the ground from some of us, so if anybody will help Larry with that, it's not a one-person job for sure. And then I'm gonna jump on fundraising, getting the petting zoo back again, the mascot meet and greet again, if we do have mascot driven sponsors like we did last year. We had the cow from Chick-fil-A, we had my mascot from Dakota Toyota. We had Coda the Fluff, the dog, that was really fun. I might play one more, I think that might be it. The marching band's on board, I've already scheduled them. I'm gonna get 3 billboards from Clear Channel. So I wanna work with you, Jonathan, on when to do that, because we don't get them forever. They're short, but they're no charge. So we need to put that into your marketing schedule and campaign to see where you think it works the best to turn those on. And then we're gonna host a package pickup. And that's about all I have. So we are going to need a vote on tickets. The subcommittee has a suggestion on what we should do for this year's scheduling and pricing. And then we also need to vote on the number of free tickets. So we'll first vote, since we had 197 students come in last year for free. I am making a motion that we have set 200 first come, first served student free tickets.
Second.
Okay,
Right, the motion on the table to approve 200 free students, first come, first serve. All in favor, say aye.
thank you. And those students, they're separate from the ROTC and,
Yes,
okay, so we didn't come up with a number of those.
I'll be surprised if it's more than 80, to be honest.
Wow, 80 is a lot.
Yeah. It's not a bad thing.
No, it's not bad, it's just we have to buy enough shirts, buy enough
Yeah.
bags to help the sponsors to give me enough
Yeah,
stuff.
so I mean, I'll have to find out, but I can find out for the junior ROTC and then I'll find out for the recruit schoolies.
Okay,
When I meet with the recruiting center to see how many they actually have in the recruit pool.
Okay, just to give us an idea so we know, because I mean, I'd go with 700 runners. And if we have 300 free ones, 400 paid ones.
You go to the church. Everybody.
I do, but we can totally let you price it.
Guidance Apparel. Daughter. She needs some help. I'm helping her because she's traveling to Booker Town, so I've given it, she gave me some letters and I already. I'm helping her, so she told me if I ever need anything for the veterans. You call her, so I'm gonna give you her phone number.
Oh, yeah, totally. Yeah.
She's in, so, Guidance Apparel, they do all the uniforms, Dolphins, Marlins,
Okay,
teachers, he's been doing this for me.
yeah, totally. Let me, that's great. I mean, I have a vendor that he always comes through for me, but we'll totally price them.
Do we need to vote on the junior ROTC and the recruit poolies attending for free as well? I think we do.
Yeah, I think we should.
Yeah, I'll put a motion on the table, that we, invite, high school junior ROTC program, Navy, Army junior ROTC program, so they can run for free. And, recruit poolies, those are folks who already signed the contract and the recruit pool and just waiting for a ship date to. Anyone want to second that motion?
Second,
The motion's on the table to allow junior ROTC and recruit poolies to run in a race for free. All in favor, say aye. Opposed?
And I guess it might be worth mentioning, because at first we had considered the money-making side of this and our ability to give back to the community. But I'm guessing you decided that really by doing this, we're giving back to the community through the event. So we don't have to wait till the termination of the event to actually give back, but encouraging young people to run, they don't have to pay. By having the recruits come in, we're giving them some visibility and making
Right.
Yeah, we can put that in our calls to action too, that we're letting them, they're gonna run as guests. Yeah,
And also, we talked about it in the subcommittee meeting, where we're gonna make up the money, I guess, even though it's not, trying to pull money out of people, it's a cause based on a profit base. But, so we made a hair under $8,000 for tickets alone. So in accordance with, the prices that we established that we want to go for this year,
But I think
we're gonna be safe, especially with the sponsorships that come in.
I'm not too concerned about the money making aspect. I think we got it with the sponsorship, but to get to Mike's point, you're right, Michael. I mean, what I'll do is, and I think we should have the committee look at encouraging those to serve. A lot of us, we get as veterans, folks come up to us and thank us all the time. But the young people are raising their hands before they actually join and they're fully and stuff like that. And it's actually a lot harder for them now. And it's a lot harder for them now because demographically speaking, I know this because we had an executive offsite in the Marine Corps, General in Toronto sat around saying, why is it hard to recruit people? It's hard to recruit people because first of all, we no longer have a culture of service and selflessness. We have a culture of selfies. And we also have an issue with people being obese and overweight. It's not a very health conscious thing to play in sports. And so a lot of poolie programs or recruit shipping dates have extended extremely because they have to get to a certain size, a certain weight, a certain level before they can ship. Because although Army boot camp, Navy boot camp, Marine Corps boot camp, we can deal with somebody who's 15 to 20 pounds overweight, but we can't deal with somebody who's 50 pounds overweight, 80 pounds overweight. They have to get down to that level. So you found a lot of recruiters have a lot of extra stress because now they're personal trainers and they're dietitians besides being a recruiter. So, and also we don't have that culture anymore of service as much as we used to have, So anytime we can encourage that, anytime we can recognize the young people who are raising their right hand, wanting to do that, going through the challenge of trying to go against the culture of eating fast food and eat healthy and have a healthy lifestyle because they have to fight against the current. I want to encourage that.
I love it.
So that's my secret agenda.
But I mean, I think that's an issue. And encouraging at first, 200, well, that's a lot of free people, another 80, good Lord.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
So
That's
we have
actually, that's a good
sponsors-
idea.
we have sponsors.
We can bring in the
Yeah.
kids from the high school and have them run, maybe get enthused about it. And the kids that have signed up to go into the service, I think it's wonderful.
Maybe we have a special sponsorship slot, a new one they're like, they adopt those that.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to
For that.
figure out, how do we get the recruiting commands to get, to put some, because they get funded, these
Maybe we get
recruiting
like Sweat
commands.
440, like to give them a one's
Yeah,
free.
or something.
So
That'll
they
be,
can go,
wow. That'll be good for the poolies. That'll be great.
Get somebody to support them, yeah.
Yeah,
yes,
that'll be great advertising for them too.
I'm on it. That'll be. part
We
of my
get
publicity.
America's service people in shape.
Yeah,
They're
right.
gonna-
Wow. Before they go. Wow.
What?
Linda, Linda, she helped me.
It's Sweat
Linda,
440.
Linda, I spoke.
Oh.
Well, then,
You know what I'm talking about.
Send her the information.
Bill.
Yeah.
The pricing there.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
oh,
we
yeah, we got
talked
so
about the
excited.
price.
Thank you for keeping us focused. Got
I
it.
have it written down, I was waiting for it.
All right, so the pricing regimen, and this needs to be a vote. So we decided to recommend to the committee that we're gonna have sort of like the same thing we had last year. $25 pre-sale, which will be from 1 July to September 30th. Then a $30 early bird, which is from 1 October to 31 October. And then the final price, which is 1 November to race day, is $40. So what I need now is a motion to approve.
You say already,
Okay, it's pre-sale $25
okay,
from 1 July
the 30 September.
30 September. Early bird is $30, 1 October, to 31 October. Please tell me somebody can hear those bells too. It's just not me.
Yeah,
I hate you. And $40 for the final 1 November to race it.
what about the student, there'll be that block of free students. If
Yeah.
they don't patch it in that initial block, is there any chance that there'll be some left over that will have to pay? And then I think last year, didn't they get a student price or they put student in there and they ran for free or?
That's, yeah, we're gonna let 200.
200, what happens if they don't make it in that initial rush?
That's for the whole time. The 200 is gonna be out there. We're gonna set those out there. and
Did we use that many last year?
We use 197.
Yeah,
This should cover everybody.
But in other words, if there's 250 students, will those extra 50 students just fall on the regular?
Whenever they buy,
Yeah,
if they buy that slot.
We want to
Like a student discount.
No,
No.
we want to incentivize. We're already giving out so much anyway.
That's a good point.
That is a good point.
Do we want to put in a student discount also, or if they miss the free?
Well, I mean, the student discount will be available. It's just a cap.
No, student discount is free. We're saying that we're not gonna give more than 200 free ones, but maybe then there's gonna be a discounted ticket.
Are you gonna
for
have a student
students.
discount ticket? Is that what you're saying?
On top of,
Like the family that goes with their 2 8-year-olds and a 14-year-old.
As long as they book it before.
But
the
they don't,
$200.
in November, they do it. They don't want to pay $160 for their family of 4, they won't go. But if they got a kids get, whatever pricing for the kids, $10, whatever we decide.
Do all the runs do it at fixed pricing or no?
Thought they did.
I don't know.
You know what, that's a good idea. Let's table that till the next subcommittee meeting, so that way we can do a little bit of research.
Talk
see
to,
what
we'll
they're-
talk to Ruben and.
Yeah, see what the professionals say. That's a good idea.
Yeah. So we'll still put the vote out for this, so.
I will just say that. That's just why, I think that's why we just wanted the 200 tickets.
And that's
And
it.
then if you're 201.
Well, we're not gonna
it's
make
just a
that,
matter of
we're not gonna
time.
make that decision today. We're gonna table that until the next subcommittee so we can research that.
Hmm.
But let's make the decision right now as far as the pricing regimen,
25, 30, and 40.
25, 30, and 40. Do I have a motion to table to,
I'll make that motion.
all right, motion from Michael.
Second.
Second from Larry. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say aye. Okay, motion carries. Anything else from the subcommittee? This is, we part this there.
Something else to think about, if we can't figure a way to get split 440 or the other gym to give these memberships to our police. Maybe we can have that as part of the benefit. Just look at that factor, or does that sound not like,
I mean, I don't know. I mean, let's see if they're even interested, maybe,
Okay.
maybe they give out a free week thing anyhow.
I'm gonna get more than
They have
I'm gonna get
program.
in shape and get ready to go.
Schools have a
That
student
like, that could be
program
like
now.
2 months,
Right.
right? Get
Yeah.
in shape.
They have a student program now over schools for the summers. It's a 30-day program, 90-day program,
Maybe
whatever it
no
is.
shoe ones that can get in there and get us hooked up with them this time.
I belong there for 15 years.
The towns,
Yeah.
should know somebody.
Okay. Well, we'll,
I'm going there, I'll find.
Well, yeah, we'll figure that out. Yeah, let's take a look into that. But let me follow up with recruiting demand, you know, I mean, hate to create something and then I don't have any need, right? I think they'll go for it.
has anybody seen how, if Sweco 40 is busy, are they doing good? Yeah, good.
They have like, we did their ribbon cutting, you know, they've been around for
Yeah.
a minute,
Mhm.
but we wanted to do their official ribbon cutting. And they told us, I think they hit 600.
Wow, that's great.
I might misremember, but, yeah, they're doing all right.
Good.
Okay, the Reindeer Run 2023 proceeds allocation, I got a text message and a phone call into the owner of Combat Veterans Outdoors. And really, you know, I looked at their website, they said it's for combat veterans, and really the issue is, what do you mean by combat veteran? Do you mean somebody with a combat action ribbon, combat infantry badge, combat action badge, or do you mean somebody with a campaign ribbon, meaning they were in Iraq? But they, you know, they were fortunate not to have to return fire and direct fire, which is what you get with combat infantry badges, combat action ribbons and stuff like that. Doesn't mean they were not under fire, you just didn't direct fire, because you have to return fire to get those badges and action ribbons. So, and I'm waiting to see, and once I figure that out, then we can figure out how we can better scope it, because obviously if it's just limited to those folks with cars and CIDs and CADs, that's a very small group. That's a really small group. I'd rather be much more expansive. But we'll talk to them and see, because I think also people with campaign ribbons have the same type of PTSD issue. You know, I mean, because they were in the forward operating bases, they were forward, they were away. You know, it may not be as severe, but it's still, you know, it's still challenging.
There were well-defined
Yeah,
front lines.
well, especially in Iraq and Afghanistan.
Right. I mean, you had lines of communication that were dangerous.
Every LOC.
About the guy that was a cook and case on. I mean, it's, you know, those guys are.
Yeah, I mean, it depends how far.
They got rocketed.
Depends how far up your fob was, you know?
We all got rocketed.
And rockets and mortars and. Sometimes RPGs.
It just depends on where your forward operating base is. So we'll see, you know, and I'll talk to them, and I'll try to sway them to include everybody with campaign with them because of the nature of warfare. So, all right, moving on to Memorial Day, the debrief, we're doing the 3 up, 3 down, typical military way of doing things. 3 up, 3 positive, 3 negative. First of all, our sponsors were fantastic. Thank you, Pedro. Thank you, Judy. They were really, really fantastic. The performers, the color guards were really good. The police officers, Officer Amador, I'm actually saying something good about people.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
The color guard was very good. I was surprised how well they did. The bagpiper was fantastic. Thank you, Michael. The trumpet player was fantastic, and the singer was fantastic as well. The veterans and Congressional Medal of Honor readers, thank you very much for all those veterans. And I gotta thank Jonathan for putting that brochure together with the QR codes that linked to all the Congressional Medal of Honor awards. Because folks may not have been able to hear us, because once again, the PA system failed. But they could still read it. And I actually think the written is better than hearing. Because when you read it, you're like, you do a double take, you know, we had Congressional Medal of Honor citations that were awarded posthumously when you died. And when you read those things, you do a double take when you went back into the burning vehicle and he was on fire himself, all out people. That was one of the CMH winners.
Jumped on it.
Or jumped on a grenade, you know, I mean, those kind of things.
I think it was a good way to get people, you know, step further into the.
Yes, and it was great because it made it more engaging for them. And then also having the pictures there, that's why I put the pictures there, put the face to those who made those sacrifices, not just a name. So I thought that was fantastic, and I hope we do, if we can't find a great guest speaker next year, I hope we do the same thing. And I think there's no better honor we can give during Memorial Day when we honor our fallen to talk about those who made huge sacrifice.
Next year will be the 80th celebration of D-Day.
Maybe we just do D-Day or
Maybe
World
we-
War II, maybe we do World War
I
II.
don't know if we have any World War II veterans left.
Oh, no, we don't have any World War II
Do we
veterans.
have any World War II veterans?
No, they're all gone. I'm
Yeah,
talking about-
We have one, we have one.
We still have.
You have one, yeah, to see him. Moved to West Virginia.
No, he passed away.
Yeah, I mean, World War II veterans.
Oh, there is one, but she's a
Or
great.
maybe something about the greatest generation.
Yeah.
something like that.
Maybe we,
I don't know.
what we do is we make it all tailored to the 80th anniversary of D-Day. And we tailor it to Congressional Medal of Honor winners, WW2.
That's
And that's what we do.
We need to mention the two that Pedro Bourdain, in the restaurant.
Yeah.
Who's the
Yeah.
restaurant, Pedro?
Sergio.
Sergio.
That was really a nice.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And I thought it was especially good because, last year we had the Memorial Day picnic, the barbecue afterwards, and that's kind of traditional on Memorial Day to have a barbecue. Well, when you showed it with that, it kind of rounded it all out. I thought
Yeah, it was actually a nice way.
It was nice.
It
It
was,
was Cuban food.
It was very
We
good.
just
He gave it to
pork and
There was-
rice and.
He's spending more food for 20, he's got 100.
Have to
It was
speak
like,
with
Jesus
the,
Christ,
with
it's unbelievable.
Yeah, and I'd like to thank Larry for the coffee and donuts, Sal's fan.
And the water.
The town got.
Yeah.
And the water. Okay, so let's talk about,
I
spoke what's that?
I spoke with Sergio's manager
Yes,
to thank him because I
Yeah,
think it was a
thank you.
surprise. And he said there isn't enough that we will ever be able to do with the
Yes.
work that you guys did.
Yeah.
no, I spoke to him too as well. He was a very gracious young man. I really-
And the Girl Scout cookies.
And the Girl Scout cookies were fantastic too.
Bill will tell you that there was a lady that came up to us after the ceremony. Who
He's
said
the
that
general
she had
manager.
attended,
And Felipe is the manager.
she had attended
Raúl
every
is the general
Memorial Day
manager.
ceremony for the last
Okay.
10 or 12 years here. And this was the best one that she had heard.
She was- he was
I don't know how long we've been having.
She was in tears, and I think.
He was
it
in tears.
It was
He
a
came up and
Congressional
said
Medal of
this was the best ceremony that she had witnessed.
In the town, this is the second one.
Okay,
We did one on a post back in 2016 and 17 at the cemetery.
Yes,
Posted.
Okay,
correct.
okay. So this is all,
well. then-
I don't know what she was talking about then.
Yeah, she was in tears.
She was in tears. She said this
It
was
kinda hard for her to
fantastic.
express what she was thinking. It was kind of like very, she was crying, she was weeping. I mean, I think she had, because of QR code and reading those Medal of Honor citations, that's hard, that's hard. Okay, let's talk about the three or the two down, the two negatives. The PA system. I have approached council members Collazo and Garcia, both who were present. And I talked to them about them, and I sent an email to the town manager as well, requesting support. So hopefully they will fix it. The other issue is setup help. I need folks, we need folks to show up a little bit earlier than 9:45. Thank God, these people were there. They helped me set up the tent, so it was just me and one person. So I'm setting up 6 tents. And it's not getting easier as you get older. So it'd been nice to have another two people show up. Breakdown was not bad because there was plenty of, about 2 of the people there, so we had like 4 people helping us break down stuff. So,
Greg is usually always there, but
Yeah.
rehearsal that day.
so that's basically the only thing that we could use for help. All right.
Well, I will say, if we should tap into, volunteers, like student volunteers if we can, because I have to give Larry a major shout out. As well as Councilman Garcia. Bill. You guys stuck around. It was a rough, hot morning and, I didn't have to work out that day because that was my workout and Larry showed me levels and he wasn't sweating, he had his cap on and, but, we should tap into getting volunteers because.
No, I mean, you had the young Marines help out, the little kids were carrying chairs and stuff, but the tents were already set up because,
Yes.
there wasn't a, miraculous
They all went
working
home
party
ready to
showing
go.
up. I mean, it was 2 of us who did it. And then putting the stuff away,
And
That
back on the
was
tent
big,
says, anytime we need it, just call him and he'll come.
Yeah, Diego from the
Yeah.
Florida Marketplace Group.
Well,
was very.
the other thing was the impromptu appearance of the Battlefield Cross. Made a big difference.
That was brilliant. That was,
I think, that's what the battlefield cross was based on Memorial Day. I mean, that was perfect. The idea, whether it be coincidence, for whatever reason, was on the front of the program.
yeah.
The battlefield cross was on the front of the program. So when we had that in front of the podium, and then Bill got explained what it was. Actually, Gary had written a very nice paper on what exactly the battlefield means and its purpose. But Bill got up impromptu and explained to everyone, and I think it was very well taken. He did a great job. And he worked out good.
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone did a really good job flexing because we had a few snafus, well, the Battlefield Cross showed up and then I got to use Gary's dog tags.
was good.
Basically show how it's used. And also the wreath, for whatever reason, it was delivered to the wrong place. And we were able to quickly decide, let's use the POW MIA flag to bring forward in front of the Battlefield Cross. And the veterans who read the Congressional Medal of Honor citations, they found out they were bringing that flag forward when I told them, veterans, can you please pick up that flag and bring it forward? That's when they found out, so everyone kind of flexed really nicely. And to those who didn't know that we were completely off the plan and like, the famous Prussian general said, Don Moki the Elder, no plan ever survives first contact with the enemy. Well, no plan ever survives first contact with reality. So we were able to flex and have a branch plan and have a sequel and it worked out well. All right, so thank you very much for everyone. That was a great job. Well done. Made people cry, although that wasn't our intention. But it touched a lot of hearts and that was our intention.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, and another, just a little piece of information, I don't want to keep dragging on, but we had about 80 people show up, so.
Oh, that's nice.
Good to know.
In my opinion,
That's good advertising. That's not so bad at all. I mean, once they found out they get free food and free donuts and free coffee, and they get to hear a red fire truck in Japan, who's not gonna show up?
Yeah.
Well, that's by the way, that's something to think about when we do this on Sundays, is we are competing with church,
Yes.
okay? And we may want to think about that in the future. The thing is Memorial Day and Patriots Day are both in really warm parts of the year. So doing it later in the day, could put us into rain or could put us into a really, really steamy situation.
Yeah, well, I guess we'll figure that out when it's crossed out, but that's a good point.
But what about, you were the one that had proposed the changing the dates from.
Well, we did change the
That's what I'm
dates.
saying, how did that work?
That works.
If you had to do it next year, having it on Monday, vice having it on
I
Sunday.
think having it on Sunday was better than what we would have gotten
Oh,
if we
yeah.
had it on Monday, sure. Okay, I mean, it's,
Yeah, it's just, we do have a conflict in church, but we can go to mass earlier or later, and I think 11 o'clock at least happens to be when there's no, well, the church I go to happens to be, there's no church going on at that time, either it's earlier or after. All right, so new business, Veteran Park. I emailed everyone 2 letters, one to town council recommending the improvements that we voted upon as a committee with a phase plan, and the other one was a letter to the town attorney via town manager requesting a legal opinion as to setting up Veterans Park Foundation in order to fund the improvements and the maintenance of the improvements. Are there any comments about either of those letters? I think it was emailed to everyone. Did everyone receive the email with the attachment? Okay. All right.
Is this gonna be, I'm sorry, I don't know if I misremembered, is this gonna be part of the memo? Or part of your report to council?
I think what I'm gonna do is, first of all, my plan is to, one, get the letter out and have everybody comment. And second thing is have everybody vote to approve the submission of the letters as a committee. And then I'm gonna get on the council's agenda to brief what our plan is, but the letter to the town attorney is just to the town attorney, the town manager, because I need to get his, what the left and right lateral limits from the legal point of view of what we can do. So,
For the nonprofit.
you know. So,
On one of the letters, I thought you made a great point when you highlighted, this is the legal opinion, requested the legal opinion. And you highlighted how the Optimist Club had done it, particularly noting that they had only received a charitable status last year.
yeah, that could have been a reincorporation. I did note there saying that could have been a reincorporation, but from the records I found and the only historical records I could find, it seemed like they only got their 501c3 designation last year. But it could have been previously incorporated because they're calling themselves Miami Lakes Optimists 2. So there could have been a Miami Lakes Optimist at one time. So I'm not certain.
But what do you think about taking that line out then? I mean, it only
Well, I
because it
mean,
comes
well,
across
I do put in there, I do put in a note, they could have maybe done that for
reincorporation. Right.
reincorporation.
But I was just thinking, it almost seems like almost like you're kind of poking them in the eye with it. Like, you know, you're kind of highlighting, well, we all know they're the favored children in the town. And by highlighting the fact that, well, you know, they got that, they should know what they have,
Well,
or don't have.
Well, the one thing we know for certain, from a legal point of view, and Ed, correct me if I'm wrong, is prior to reincorporating, they had to dissolve their corporation. So they had to dissolve their previous corporation, they had to dissolve their previous 501c3. So at one point, for a period of time, last year before January of 2022 or before that time, they were not a corporation, they were not a 501c3, you know, because in order to reincorporate, you have to close out your previous corporation in order to reincorporate.
Sometimes that happens in administrative.
Yeah, well,
Like, we don't-
Well, that's to be-
it's filing paper.
You know,
Yeah, it's filing paperwork. But you have to file it with Sunbiz, you have to file it.
if you don't, it would be dissolved.
Yeah, if you don't, yeah, it could be dissolved administratively because you fail to file the annual reports. So I'm figuring maybe, so that's one of the two possibilities. So at one time, this organization was existing at the time. It no longer was officially existing unless they're saying it was a carryover. I'm not too concerned about that sentence, to be honest. I mean, it's factually accurate and it's not trying to be misleading. It's just trying to say this is all I can find in the record. So,
The items that are being added to the park, you get the clamshell or whatever, aren't actually going to be paid for directly by the Veterans Committee. It's going to be paid for by the town. And the money that we raise is basically raising money for the town. So why would we need a separate corporation? Why would, in order to a nonprofit, town's the one that's actually paying for everything?
well, unless this state does not have to comply with federal anti-deficiency laws, and I have not found that to be the case. Most states, most towns, most municipalities cannot augment their appropriated funds accounts. In other words, you know, to accept a gift of certain amount of money for a certain type of thing, usually you have a foundation that's set up to do it. And they kind of work with the town.
Like what Lynn does with the.
Yes,
Food and wine.
and that's what Optimist Club does as
Yeah.
well.
Right.
They can't really say, well, you were gonna,
The town is also,
Yeah.
like, Clarisol is on that.
Yes.
That foundation.
yeah, so the thing is, they can't,
They run it.
the only money that the town can use is what is appropriated by taxes and stuff like that in accordance with the town charter.
Yeah.
They can't augment their money with an unappropriated fund unless it's foundation that's kind of gifting it to them that way. You know what I mean? So it's sort of like no one can donate directly to the town except,
So we're in violation, and we raise money like a 3-year run and things like that.
no, because that's all being donated to a 501c3 veterans organization. The only thing the town's getting covered is the cost. So, you know, all the proceeds get donated.
I thought also the foundation, establishing the foundation was so that we could plan long-term And we
Yes.
should keep our money in the fund and not be obligated
That's
to
right.
spend it or have it tied.
Because
to
he,
somebody else.
exactly right, because the other thing,
Then it become a fiscal issue.
yeah, you also got the fiscal year issue that every state and every county has. You know, appropriations have to be spent, you know, you got
You can't
specific
afford-
purpose, specific time, et cetera. And they can't roll it over. So that's a very good point. All
That
right,
makes sense.
okay. That being said, can I get a motion on the floor to, proceed in submitting both letters to the appropriate parties? Motion from Gary, seconded by Larry. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? By the way, thank you all very much for reading the legal and really boring memos. That's what I excel at, really boring memos. Okay. Next issue is Patriot Day planning. That's, what's the date for Patriot Day?
September 10th.
September 10th,
Because I have it down as 9 AM,
9 AM.
because I know we were. If we were.
Oh, yeah, because that's when, that's the time that the aircraft hit.
Coincide with the first hit.
But not only that, but because on the day of, we weren't necessarily bound to doing it at, you know, 8:15 or whatever it was last year. The first hit. So I have it as 9.
Well, what's everyone's thoughts? I mean, it's not on September 11th. Do we want it to be on, at 9 AM? Do we want to put it at 11 AM?
It's a Sunday.
Let's say, I
I think
mean,
9
11 AM, more people will attend.
I know, but I think the idea of having it, you know, at this time that they hit the tower, I mean, works successfully, now people have shut up and pass.
It actually hit the tower pretty much earlier. than
Hey,
that.
hey,
Like 40, so it's like last 40, yeah, 40 is like
Well, we
8:30.
did, the last few years we had that, we did have a significant turnout there. We also had the VIP senators, congressmen that came out. And we had a subcommittee each year, as we do at the Reindeer Run, to handle the details of that. And I think we have a subcommittee again this year to do that.
All right. Larry makes a motion.
I think
for the
that's-
subcommittee. Anyone seconds that motion? Okay, Mario seconds that motion. Okay, the motion on the table is to establish a subcommittee for the Patriot Day, September 10th ceremony. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, Larry. We appreciate you volunteering to be the chair of that subcommittee. Thank you very much.
That's Army style.
You have the, that's Marine Corps style. You have the idea, you better be ready to execute it.
I'm good at planning plans.
We'll look at dates right now. What I can do is I sent you the event form.
Right.
I don't imagine it being much different.
I think we have the date. You talking about the time?
No, I'm talking about like chairs.
Oh, I see.
That's the checklist.
The what we need, just so we have it.
I got you.
Again, I don't imagine it being much different than Memorial Day.
No, we're doing the same thing.
Except for the
So-
3,000 flags.
Then I'll update you
Yeah.
on what I can. So the
The
PA system, the PA system
She ordered
that revolved around us not having a generator or the fender. And simply thought we were gonna have a fender. The day of, we had to pivot to the chargeable one. And since parks didn't know, didn't have the receiver charged, and that's what caused the
And then we always see the pivot to loud human.
loud.
voice.
Right, so we'll need a generator.
Man voices.
If we want the fender, which is a good PA system, we'll need a generator.
But we
What
have,
happened to the generator? Remember the generator that year?
Yeah, there was an electric generator.
It was quiet, it was small, it really had. It was to the tin.
That's the thing, I didn't know of it, so
Not the one.
it's in the
Yeah, yeah.
deposit and everything else.
now I know to ask for it. I don't know what it is this. I can't ask for it,
But I really, I think an issue, it's a-
Two, when we were growing up, a professor had a closet that had everything.
I don't know.
it seems like the issue is, I mean, with the committee puts together, helps put the event together, et cetera, but there's some staffing things that I think should be absorbed by the town, not the committee. And this is an ongoing, we all know it's every single event, it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing for the town, for the people putting it on, for the speakers. So whatever there's no electric, there's no this, there's no that, it wasn't charged. Somebody needs to take ownership of it and make sure that it's ready to go, because it's been like this for 5 years. Every single event, there's 2 events during the year that look like this. And it's really, I mean, it's just disappointing.
Doesn't the town have an AV team? IT?
We have an
Let they
event.
can do it.
I think it's more,
Who's the official event for the year?
that's aisle, but
I didn't think it would fall on the event.
But if you think about it, the PA systems that's all handled by parks, because they're the only ones that use it. We essentially borrow it from them. So it's us asking parks to have things ready.
Okay,
And when everything's not in the same house, so to
But like
speak.
Mike said, someone needs to take ownership of it so that you don't have, it shouldn't be on you, you have to scramble at the last moment and then not have it. You
Well,
need to take ownership to make sure the grass is correct, to make sure that.
right,
place,
and
the tents, whatever chairs we need, and all those things be taken care of. That not have to fall on you and not have to scramble.
Well, can I ask you a question? I know you guys, one thing they did, Larry, which I thought was a great idea, is to create like a forcing action and the tracking of who's doing what.
Yeah, do you
And
have
they
a
created,
calendar?
they created a request form that they do for all events. Now, we did it for Memorial Day event, where I request tents, whether or not I need police assistance, et cetera, et cetera. And so, once we put in a functional PA system, does you or do the town, do they direct the public works to provide that? And the
provide the PA
object,
system.
yeah,
Like the storage,
But
bring it out.
it's not public works, it's the Parks Department.
I mean,
So once we get the form,
the Parks Department,
once we get the form, it's us emailing, the coordinator at whichever
each
department
department,
we're at.
all right.
We need this PA system.
It needs
Now
to
that
be
I know there
functional.
is a generator, it's, make sure we have a generator for the fender system. It's sort of, if you don't know, you don't know what to ask for, I guess.
Well, no, it's like all supply
So-
acquisition requests, we
Right.
put in there, this is what we need. And we send it to appropriate department, and then they have to execute it.
Let's invite to our next meeting Jeremiah, he's in special park, and talk to him.
Well, maybe Jeremy, or maybe the guy who actually touches this stuff.
Jeremy is the one in charge of the parks, right?
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
Jeremy-
I could always send him a separate email later on if I need to, but let me see if the process can work. I want to make the process work.
All right. And again,
You guys created a process, I want to force it to work.
Yeah, I hate to sound like
Maybe.
there's an excuse or an answer for everything. I didn't know there was a generator, so we had to sort of opt for the.
They use it,
charge
remember
one.
when you.
I created this town.
They
But now we
brought-
know. So that was taken care of. Tents, I'm gonna ask Diego again. For the
Yes,
marketplace,
that was good.
Because it was very.
Yeah, we will do it, he told me
Very
after, bring it over that anytime we need it, he knows his partner.
Okay, and then, yeah, so we got the tents, we got Diego's good to go, thank you.
Yeah.
Pedro, thank you for that, Jonathan. A bunch of flags, a 3,000 plus little American.
Carolina already is gonna provide that,
It's gonna provide the people or the flag?
the flag.
No, no,
Oh, no, we have.
We have
No,
the
no,
flag.
no,
That was.
we have the flags.
Oh, where are they?
They're in they're in, they're in Contigo boxes, but,
Where?
There's.
Where I
There's.
started.
There's sort of.
Okay.
But
yeah,
they're.
last I saw them.
They're stored.
And
They
it's all-
were stored properly, it could be in good shape. You could have the right number.
Maybe iron.
What you say is in case we need more.
What if I wrote about it?
We don't need a certain amount, because the sticks get dry and everything. So we should have, like we did with the banners, the one inspection, a rough idea. What
You
we're
know,
gonna need.
the little.
Why don't we just do a flag and ask for 500?
Well, we did that last year.
When we asking for more?
I think we ended up with that.
So what was that, we were mixed. between
Had a
the-
different size. I really couldn't do the same thing. Pedro's asking Carolina for more.
500, that way we can just.
Listen, do we have room for storage?
For 500 little teams, like.
She can keep it there and we use it.
I don't know what the volume.
Pedro, she was originally keeping them there and she.
Yes.
Yes, she was keeping them, but she kept them in cardboard boxes. They got all deformed, so we took them off her hands
We have them in plastic containers.
and we have them in plastic.
We zone
Plastic
immediately,
bins
put them in-
inside, very college storage, yeah.
But is there enough storage? Cause I know I bought the storage.
We had volunteers go out, remember last year afterwards, a week later, we had volunteers go out, we gathered them all
Rubber
up,
banded.
we wrapped them up. and-
But I'm saying is
There's
there's leftover space that we can fit.
There's plenty of, you got the container water too big, plenty of space.
Cool.
No, that was kind of rough.
I'm sorry. that's-
No.
He put them in the back of his car,
No, no, no.
poor guy. Nobody else took ownership of anything. Yeah, he bought it from Home Depot.
But anyways. so
Thank you for
those will be- those will be
And he
set up
stuck
like
it
they
in
were-
his,
The center field again,
he's
Yes,
a good sport
yes.
about it.
and that will be done by, again, we'll have to tap. into
So
our
9
volunteers.
September is flag setup day, where we have the people setting up the 3,000.
Oh, what day,
flags.
what day? 9
9
September?
September, because the event's on 10 September,
9 September, what's the, that's Saturday?
That's a Saturday. Yep.
that's a Saturday. Remember, we normally have no problem leaving it overnight, I've yet to see any.
No, what we generally do is set that.
We have to go for violence too. Carolina.
For violins?
Yeah.
Well, wait, let's wait. We're right now at flag setup. I don't
And
know my
since,
train of thought.
and sorry, since we are on that, that'll be me sending an email to parks to have the grass cut by a certain day.
Okay, and so who was, we got a bunch of folks last time. Who was?
So we had Scott.
And Soto?
We had
Mike had contacted
And I
me,
spoke to her already.
Barbara Goldman, and we had over 100. How many? It was cute. It was doing it.
Yeah, that was fantastic. Okay, so I need someone to take on that task. Who wants to contact Anna Soto and who wants to contact Barbara Goldman?
No, I'll call her. She is Barbara.
Oh, okay, then.
She works at Barbara. She's the,
National Honor
National Honor Society and legal.
Okay, so Michael, thank you very much for contacting
And
her.
while you're talking, or talk about, yeah, thank you.
We don't actually, we should ask for 2 days to volunteer. The date we set them up and the date we got them down.
Yeah,
Pardon me?
We need 2 days, the date, that Saturday morning we set them up.
Yeah.
And probably
Take 'em
the
down.
following Saturday we'll take them
Yeah,
down.
well, yeah, we said that, remember? Yeah, but you're right. 2
We
days.
didn't lose that many flags. I mean, they didn't take that many. It wasn't-
No,
wasn't that-
we left them up a little bit longer.
Yeah.
One reason or
they-
another.
Yeah, I liked it.
So we, yeah.
I don't, yeah, maybe 1 or 2 people took one.
Yeah.
but-
And this year I want to be a little more precise in the way to go down. Last year wasn't really happy with the placement.
Like a laser
We
pointer.
put the lines there. We have a
well, I
system.
didn't, I didn't.
Are we done talking about everybody's OCD?
Yeah, we can talk-
Larry's OCD.
What's that? Larry,
Well,
we
it was-
can
I
talk
don't
about
know
this.
if that helped or hurt.
I remember the 2 lines that merged into one and then went back.
Everybody.
You guys,
It was,
I think no one only cares is you guys. You know, once you go home and iron it.
Michael having that done.
Yeah. All right, coffee, food, water for setup and the day of the event.
I'll bring water.
Especially the water for the setup. So I appreciate that. Thank you.
I'll volunteer a fire truck to put the water in the coffee.
Yeah, that's awesome. Both days. I mean, because that's a great landmark. People go, where are we supposed to be? Follow the. That's a great landmark. And let's see.
How many cases of water for this time?
We could, whatever, to punch 200 people for this is 200 people for the day of setup and day of the event.
So
I think it's about right.
15 cases. Yeah.
The day of, it wasn't much need, but they certainly the setup.
Yeah, that's a
Setup,
big-
we'll do that water.
So-
And then coffee was 16 or something.
9/9 water, cold water, what time? On 9/9,
What time, folks, do we want to do the setup?
I think early. It's cooler in the morning.
Yes.
It's better.
How about 09 on
All right.
9
Oh,
September?
nine.
okay, 9/9 evening.
09 on the 9th month.
And do you want? We can bring it
That's
all.
good
We
because
can
you
bring
don't
it all.
you don't have to really start lining it off. They just try and volunteers get out. We're ready to put them to work.
So we'll bring the 15 cases on 9/9 and then we'll put away the rest for the next day for the event.
Yeah, put it in Mary Collins,
That
yeah.
can be done.
Yes.
All right,
You'll
cool.
do a great job of supervising the volunteers out here on them.
So Jonathan, that means that parks, if we could request that they do it before
Yeah, they had,
9/8,
yeah, they had their.
because they don't
have
get
their
to work on the
timeline.
weekends.
That's very important, the grass being cut for the prior to putting flags in, because it makes the flags and order to measure and put them in, needs shorting the grass.
Okay, that sounds good, and we'll figure out,
Review, right?
the subcommittee will figure out the coffee issue. Okay, guest speaker, subcommittee, pick a guest speaker, hopefully a first responder. Officer Amador, if you can find us a first responder, be a guest speaker for the 9/11.
We had in the past.
We had a fire chief,
Fire chief. We had the fire chief, he was good.
yeah, he was
We had
very
two
good.
fire
And then we had the bell ceremony.
Yeah, we had
two fire.
we had the police major, the guy just, yeah. He wasn't really prepared, I think, as the other ones were. He was kind of impromptu. But
Well, I think the bell ringing ceremony by the firefighters, I'm not sure, I mean, that's all them. I have no idea how that ceremony goes.
See what VIPs come out, whether we have the senator come out again.
Yeah, I mean, we had the congressman, show up, we had Congressman Diaz-Villar show up, I guess he wasn't expected, but if we can invite him, that'll be great too. But, I would like to have a firefighter or police officer.
And Nelson will help you.
Yeah.
Oh, Nelson.
Let's invite the Santa.
Rodriguez.
Nelson Rodriguez.
Yeah,
Santos?
He'll do it.
Yeah, I don't think he'll show
Well,
up.
he did his.
Yeah.
For a little town.
Go send out the Metallica. What's her name?
Well, whoever we can get, that'll be fantastic. You guys, the subcommittee, you come up with somebody, that'll be awesome. The bell ringing ceremony with the firefighters, I think that was our firefighters, I don't know.
Yeah, it was.
I spoke to Ed already, and he said that we can use this bell.
Okay. Color guard,
Yeah, we have another bill.
Officer Amador, are you guys gonna be the color guard?
Yes, sir.
So we got.
Coast Guard fire.
our very finest is gonna be the color guard.
We had the Coast Guard fire room.
Yeah, that was interesting. It did it right in the middle of the congressman's speech. I don't know about that.
Well, we can time it better. if you-
I don't know. Terminal control of an aircraft is always tricky. It's always tricky.
Or what they do, they don't schedule, because of funding, they don't schedule a special event. What they do, they coordinate us with the, the landing approach.
I'm surprised we even got that thing to happen without the requisition in place, but whatever.
Because what I'm trying to explain, what they did was they coordinated with the landing approach. So it was a standard, whatever kind of flight. it
Oh, I
was, And
see.
they just timed the landing approach to when we wanted to be there, and that's when they came in. Because they're right on the flight path.
Well, I don't know about a flyover during 9/11. Not sure about.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not sure about the opposite on that.
I don't like.
144 to come.
No, no,
It's
no.
133.
One injury. Turbo shot.
The one like get falling in the dial.
And four.
Down a house.
You guys come up with whatever suggestions you
And
want.
4 of those and 6 helicopters.
Not have a file.
I don't really think a flyover is a bad idea for 9/11. I think the sound of aircraft is probably not the best thing. All right, the bagpiper.
Have the aircraft over, then you ring the bell.
Oh my God.
I think we can talk
There's a
about.
special place in hell for you.
All right. Yeah, that's fine.
It's like 8th level. All right, the bagpiper, same guy, I hope, really good.
Can we go back to the backpack? Mike did a great job getting him over. Did he give us a bill? He got there and he had like 2 left feet. He really didn't know when to play. He wasn't keyed in. He just showed up and he only played a couple of songs, but did he give us a bill? Did he?
Yeah, I
Well,
think-
I just told him to show up and he said he'd be there about 30 minutes before the event started. And I said, do a selection. They said, yeah, I'm kind of, I said, just get up with the fellas when you get there, so.
yeah,
He didn't really play. He played 2
Yeah.
songs. He played when he played the new guys came out, the color guard.
yeah.
And then he played, he played another song at the end.
So it wasn't worth the juice wasn't worth the squeeze.
Well, I think it was I think it was a miscommunication, because I told him to play like pre-ceremony music and he didn't. So I mean, I'm not sure where the time came off, but I think he's not bad. He does good, but
We can use pre-recorded bagpipe music if you want that.
that would be easier. Yeah,
Okay.
save us
If he didn't lend anything with the visual effect
no.
and the quality of
He
his
looked
music.
great, but he wasn't aggressive. He just kind of laid back in the back and now.
Yeah, he was in the shade. It was hot. I mean,
All right,
He was sitting on a cooler.
and-
Oh, no.
It's cool there.
Yeah.
Very nice guy.
Yeah.
And cool again, but really Spanish.
Yeah. Do we get the Legion chaplain to do the invocation?
Yeah, I thought.
Okay.
Excellent job.
He did a fantastic-
Yeah, he did a really great job.
It was a good invocation. It was religiously generic, non-denominational. That's the right word, non-denominational. And I'll get the same anthem singer as last time. She's
Nobody complained it was not.
He looked great.
used to singing without a microphone.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm Jewish, I don't
Good,
care
good.
if it's anything, it's all good to me.
Right.
Some people don't.
Really?
Okay.
Okay, so subcommittee, I guess you guys need to flesh out this whole thing and then come back to us. Thank you, Larry. All right. Any other questions or concerns over the Patriot Day planning? Right, moving on. Hey, Charlie, Rosa, Nell, Hammer. Like I said, the Elderly Affairs Committee contacted me. She's one of the original and one of the remaining Rosie the Riveters. We really don't have a lot of World War II folks left at all. And obviously, most of you know the history of the Rosita River. When everybody went to war, those who couldn't, for whatever physical reason, and those who remained, women, the whole entire population. War II was the last time we had what they called a total war, where the entire population, the entire culture, the entire manufacturing, all aspects of national power was leveraged for war. You know, so that was World War II.
Rationing.
Everything, yes, rationing, et cetera. You know,
Women built airplanes.
we used to joke around when we were going in Iraq and Afghanistan, we said, you know, America goes to the mall, we go to war. But in World War II, everybody was involved with it. And Rosita River was critical. One thought I had, and I know Arbor Day has passed, and I know a tree has already been planted for Dorothy Cook, who was fantastic. But I think, you know, we can't wait for next Arbor Day. To honor Rosa
Yeah, it's
Melhammer, and I propose we plant a tree in her honor. And she's representative, and if anybody says, well, then we have to do it for all Rosita Rivers, well, I'll do it for all Rosita Rivers that live in my area.
Yeah.
However they are, I do not know.
Cow.
I find out. for you.
Is maybe you're lucky.
I find out.
Maybe we get lucky.
One-
The only thing is, it's not well now.
Um,
Very old.
Can we get her?
She's not too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Physically able. I mean, we can probably get her out to the park and, you know, wheelchair or whatever.
Yeah.
Underneath the shade, but July 4th is a huge event, and the Cultural Affairs Committee controls that event, so I don't want to step on their toes. It's not our event. So,
Birthday is
Participated.
This is
October
October 2nd.
October 2nd, any birthday.
we're not gonna wait for that.
That's too late.
Yeah.
3 months to get the tree and the plaque, and
How many months it is to get the tree in
the
place?
plaque takes what, about 8 months?
I don't know, I've never had a tree or flag under me, so. I would have to
How
find
fast
a date,
is-
but I
how
put
fast
you
can we
guys
get a
however
tree?
long it's a-
The tree's the thing, if we need to have a temporary sign, I can get a temporary sign, probably made up by Tico.
Yeah, he can do it.
Yeah, a
Definitely,
little
yes.
temporary sign that you can just pin on the ground,
Yes.
like a campaign sign with her picture when she was Rosita Riveter and her now, you know? A picture of her young, when she was riveting as a riveter, and her now.
Her other claim to fame is that her husband was active duty guy, and her son was active duty.
Yeah.
Vietnam veteran, I think he was a Korean War.
I think I know.
And he died tragically, the son,
Oh,
Son?
he fell down and.
and I don't know him. The guy knows.
And Well, he was over there? And that-
He fell down and.
Oh, my God.
Sure. All right, so the motion on the table is for us to approve for the procurement of a tree and to ask for a sign to be made probably by AC Graphics as
Yeah, they'll do it,
a,
definitely.
as a sponsored thing, so you can do it quick.
We have to set up a line item for that.
Do we have
For the
money
tree?
from, do we have money from the last tree? Did they take, the Elderly Affairs Committee take our money for the tree, or?
No, that didn't touch it.
Yeah, so we have tree money. So find out how fast we can get tree.
And then we have a little teeny event, just
Us and the Elderly Affairs Committee.
okay, perfect.
It
That's
won't
beautiful.
probably won't be that tiny.
We
I mean,
will.
We're all gonna
I'll
be
make
there.
a motion
She,
to.
well, she's beloved, so
Yes.
if the word went out, then you could get a big crowd.
We'll get a big crowd. And plus, it's just in
Where do you want to put the tree?
the ground.
Near the other tree?
I would suspect near the other.
I'll talk to Parks. and
Yeah,
I'll
they
get it-
probably have an
I'll-
idea where they want to put.
I'll
the
get
tree.
them to send an email to you.
Yeah. So, okay, so the motion's on the table right now to purchase a tree. And a sign, get a sign for a ceremony with the Elderly Affairs Committee. Anyone make?
Honoring
second?
Roseanne.
Second.
Honoring
Second.
Rosa.
Yeah.
Hammer, second by Judy.
Who was first?
All
Okay.
He sold a whole bunch of them all around the
Yeah.
area.
She sold my small shopping center I bought with my dad in 1960.
Yeah.
those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? I'll get with the Elderly Affairs Committee.
So what I got to do?
And then try to get them to get the pictures to send to you to send to
He
Tico,
will do it definitely.
and we can put the sign together. Okay. Are there any additional issues and concerns?
I could speak to I guess she runs the elderly, what's her name? She was at
Dorothy.
Dorothy. And she wanted to really support the friends health, and she big wants that huge. We'll talk about that when you want.
Yeah, I'm gonna give her a call right now, and let her know we voted on this. 'Cause She
Okay.
told me that she had her group of 3 to work with us. And we talked about the tree and stuff like that. And she goes, awesome. Well, let me see if we can make it
She's
happen.
super excited about having a place where we can have events.
Events, the clamshell thing,
Yeah.
a lot of folks
So
are.
excited about it.
Cultural fairs is, LD affairs
Yeah.
is, I mean,
For the next quarterly committee chair meeting. If you want to add that to the.
Yeah, add that to the agenda.
yes, yes, I'm gonna add that to the agenda, the memo we're sending to the committee.
I
So that
don't,
we
we don't have
just-
a date for it, but
Well, we just approved that memo, those memos, so I expect that you'll forward them on. Is that the proper expectation? or
yeah,
should I-
so, I mean, we report in August, so,
So you don't forward those memos on until August?
for.
You know, I mean, I'm hoping by August I have answers.
I'll take them, I'll take it.
Well, this-
I'll ask
Like
her.
the email you gave me today, you just sent it to.
Yeah.
Here's an email.
I mean, it's why should we,
Alright.
Email.
it's just me, I'm not used to having my query delayed. But, Officer Amador, you had something to present to the group.
Yes, we had talked about it before a few months ago, but I want to officially put it out there. In the spirit of showcasing some other color guards, I had mentioned our color guard had sat down and we said, look, you know what, maybe the young Marines can take over the 4th of July. You know, it's a nice event and if Mr. Perez wanted to do that, and we said, yeah, that would be great, so I just wanted to.
Thanks for reminding me.
Yeah, and you know, maybe next year another color guard, you know, we were
Yeah.
thinking something like that, maybe different branches, right?
Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of junior ROTC programs, Army,
Right.
and, you know, Navy, junior ROTC, that are great to have.
And we have, you know, Veterans Day Parade, we're not gonna give that one up, we really like that. But
That's
that
great.
4th of July, you know, you guys can.
Plus, it's somebody for me to stand out in the rain with. We did last time when it was pouring on us sideways.
Yeah. It's a great event, you know, so, the park is packed and it's so nice.
Okay. Thank you very much. Any other issues, any other concerns?
I had more pens for you, but-
Can I get a motion on the table
I'll give
to
you one.
adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Okay, Bill Knickerbocker, second by Pedro. All those in favor of adjourning, say aye. Aye.